Hello, people. How's it going? Why do I look yellow? I look yellow, don't I? Probably a reflection or something. Anyway, how's it going? How's it going in your world? Just a minute. It's gotta be the reflections. I didn't think so. Anyway, on to the subject. I was watching other YouTubes today and they were talking about, YouTube doesn't like it when you use certain words, so on and so forth. This only seems to affect people who are monetized. I'm far from even coming close to that point. I mean, if you all want to subscribe, that would be nice, but I'm very far from that point. But hate and history, they go hand in hand, unfortunately. So it is difficult to discuss hate without discussing history. It isn't really possible to discuss history without hate. We did not have the Holocaust without subject of hate and history involved. We did not have the Armenian genocide if we did not have hate and history. The problem is, I think that we misunderstand the word hate. We have changed the language way too much in this planet, particularly when we discuss historical events. And we have too many people out there triggered by every word under the sun that they can come up with. If you're triggered by a word, like I can understand certain words triggering people or at least making them upset, that's fine. But use a little common sense if you're triggered by the word being mentioned without having any idea why or the context or anything else. Human beings hate other human beings. That's just unfortunately our fallen state. Yes, I hold to the Calvinistic view that humans are depraved. I've met them. We are depraved. I get it. You have to be, I want to say sensitive with quotation marks. What I mean sensitive is use a little common sense. Use a little discretion. Be a little diplomatic. You don't need to be abrasive to be abrasive. You don't need to use language just to provoke. If you're using language of any kind just to provoke a response, you're an idiot. You're not teaching anything. You're not trying to do anything. You're just trying to provoke people. Hatred has been part of history since Adam and Eve. Believe me, the devil tempted Adam and Eve at hatred. They had hatred since Cain and Abel. Okay? But we have to be able to discuss these things in historical context without being afraid of discussing these things in any context. I mean, am I supposed to not hate what Hamas did on October 7th of last year? Yes, I am. I'm allowed to. I'm a Jew. I'm allowed to. That doesn't mean I hate them as individuals. I hate what they did. I think I shouldn't hate them to the point where I don't pray for them. That is a biblical mandate. Pray for your enemies. I mean, it is. It's hard. It's very hard to pray for people who are trying to kill you. Unfortunately, it's hard to pray for people who you know don't want to live in peace with you. I mean, the problem with the word hate is that it's become an excuse to silence people. It's become a reason to not deal with real issues. It's become an excuse to, say, accuse people of this, that, and the other when they just disagree with you. I mean, we've turned the word hate into a four-letter word that'll mean whatever you or I want it to mean if I don't want to hear it or you don't want to hear it. That's not being honest. History should be about being honest about history and about the good stuff and the bad stuff and the hateful stuff. The Holocaust was hateful. The Armenian genocide was hateful. About the way Native Americans were treated by people, not just Americans, it was hateful. The way certain countries have treated other people in their own country is hateful when they literally make it legal to kill them. Which is that is what hatred is. Hatred is this unbridled, irrational, illogical need, need to dislike someone for some reason, whether real or imagined. They can't teach history, World War II history, World War I history, the American Civil War, the American Revolution, the English Civil War, and so on and so forth. Guess what? If you can't mention the fact that there were a lot of people in those wars who didn't like the other side, there weren't all these noble ideas. Not all wars are fought by people with noble reasons. There are people who fight wars to kill other people, sadly. That's it. I don't have time to be afraid to tell people if they're wrong. If you lie to someone because you don't want to hurt their feelings, and they need to be told the truth, then that in a lot of ways is hatred. That is a form of hate. Yes, I know what my shirt says. My shirt is supposedly a quote by that's the quote. Your enemy is good. That means you stood up for something, sometime in your life. And whether he said that or not, I don't know. But I like it. But anyway, I guess I'm trying to get at the point is that YouTubers are being sort of cudgeled is the right word, into being very careful what they talk about on YouTube. Using the correct words, so you don't offend anybody or trigger anybody or get demonetized. If you're doing it for the money, don't do it anymore. Do it because you want to teach history and figure out a way to get around this nonsense. You're going to run the censorship no matter what you do. YouTube is a business like any other business. They have rules. You don't always understand them, which I don't. May not agree with them, which I don't. But, it isn't like you can't, appeal, which people do. And usually people who appeal usually win. I mean, how do you teach history? How do you teach history without dealing with the very root causes of a lot of those horrible things, like the Spanish Inquisition and the planet? How do you not talk about how the Jews were treated during the Spanish Inquisition, let alone world history in the last 2,000 years? Get the Jews, the other countries. I keep bringing it up. Keep having this interrupted. I don't know if you can see it, but something keeps popping on my screen there. I used the Armenian one and the Jewish one because those are probably the ones that people would probably recognize. The Cambodian massacres were generated by hate. It is a strong emotion, and politics uses that strong emotion to generate it. What do you think? Nazi Germany rose to power because they generated this hatred toward one group of people and blamed them for all their problems. Anyway, don't get me wrong. I get the need to edit oneself or censorship ourselves, make sure that what we're saying is factual and it's correct and it's not being spoken of. It is not promoting hate. Don't get me wrong. I get the danger of talking about certain subjects. The common sense has gotta be part of the equation. When YouTube or anybody else listens to it, and all they hear is hateful language, and the only thing that's being told is history, factual history. I know this day and age, factual history is a scary thought. No, it is. It's frightening how bad history is taught in this country, let alone this planet. In fact, history is not even really taught anymore. SJW is SJW. Theology is being taught, but not history. Excuse me. I guess I'm not being very clear. I don't think. Maybe I am. But I think if you have a YouTube channel and you want to talk about history, talk about history. Talk about the facts of history. Talk about this, that, and the other of history. If you are doing it really for just because you want to make money doing this, that's between you and you. But that's kind of, to me, the wrong reason to do it. Sure, I'd like to make money doing this, but I would rely on it being the only thing I'm doing. And that's just because they're going to figure out ways to demonetize you no matter what you do. You've noticed, I've watched a lot of these videos, and they will come up with the slightest, smallest reasons to demonetize you because they don't want to pay you. Funny thing is, they don't get paid either. So really, it's sort of like they're coming up their nose to spite their face, or the other way around. I don't know how that goes. I never had to understand that one. But teaching history, you have to talk about the ugly parts, and hate is part of the ugly parts. You can't talk about, you know, the Malvinian massacre in World War II and not talk about the ugly parts. You can't talk about the Battle of the Bulge, which is when that happened, and not talk about the ugly parts, the hateful parts. Hate is part of life. Hate is part of the human condition. Everyone is afflicted with it. The idea is to just not let it control you, or not let it dominate you, or not let it be part of your life. Hate is an emotion. It's not a logical thing. Logic does not work in hatred. It just doesn't. Hate is an emotion. Hate is an emotion that's out of control. It will find anything and every reason to dislike somebody. I know I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm thirsty all day. Don't get me wrong. I get the demonetizing problem. I see their point. I understand it. I even agree with it. But if you really want to teach history, either one, you're just going to have to live with it, which is unfair for YouTubers, or you're going to have to figure out some way to get around it, or to make it less. The problem is YouTube is not going to make it easy for you. They're not here to make this easy for you. They really aren't going to make this easy. It's not easy. They don't want it. They just want, unicorns and rainbows, and no one says anything hurts anybody's feelings. Well, history is about hurting people's feelings. History does not care about your feelings. Facts do not care about your feelings. Hate doesn't care about your feelings. And if it did, there wouldn't have been a Holocaust. Yes, I bring out a reporter. But I get it. I really do get why it's a big deal to those who are making money off doing this. More power to them. Don't get me wrong. I'm on their side. I just think that if you lasted this long, you could figure out a way, and they don't. And they're going to do anything anyway. Even if you figured out a way to do it, they're going to figure out some way that, no, you can't do that. That's how it works. That's how censorship works. That's how people who like to control other people work. YouTube is not free speech. As much as you would like to think it is, it's not really free speech. Free speech would mean that you can say whatever you want and get away with it. And nobody says anything. That's free speech. And that we do not have. You can't say fire in a crowded theater. Okay, you can't do that. That's free speech, but it's illegal free speech, if that makes any sense. Don't get me wrong, I get it. I understand why some of it is understandable why it's flagged. Some of it makes no sense to me. I mean, examples of, they show a cannon going off and somehow that's flagged. Why? It's not promoting anything other than what happened. See, that's the kind of silly stuff that drives YouTubers crazy. Because it's silly. You see a certain flag with flag on the corner of something for about a second, and all of a sudden that's flag. It's like, really? Well, yeah, really, because they don't want to pay you. I maintain that the real reason they keep doing it is they don't want to pay you. It's all about the money. Follow the money. Leave the hate, get the money. Yes, mean, I hate Hamas, and there's a reason why I hate the theology of Hamas. It's killing people. It also kills its own people. I don't believe in any religion that wants to kill people. I don't believe in theology or ideology or anything else that divides people, hates people because they don't agree with them. That's hate. Non-hate is believe what you want. I don't think you're right, but believe what you want. That's not hate. Disagreeing with someone's lifestyle or theology or ideology or politics or anything else is not hate. That's a disagreement. Putting a gun in someone's head so you're going to change your ideology, that's hate. Forcing someone to change or give up what they believe or what they have, that's hate. But to disagree with somebody, to simply present history as it is not hate. Yes, I'm going to keep saying that word. I don't think the word means anything anymore. It used to, just like certain other words I'm not going to use, it used to mean something. Words used to mean something. And now they just mean whatever the person is saying them they want them to mean, instead of what they actually mean. Hopefully all this makes sense. I'm trying to make a point, I guess. Hopefully I'm making it. Teach history. If you want to teach history. And you are going to get in trouble no matter what you do with YouTube. YouTube is looking for reasons to demonetize people. They like to do it. They're not interested in making you money. They're not. They're not here to make you money. They're just here to give you a platform. And they have lots of rules that don't make any sense most of the time. But they're their rules, and you have to figure out a way to either work with them, get around them, or ignore them. I'm serious. If you're doing this history thing to make money, if that is your primary motivation, I don't think you should be doing it anymore because that's the wrong motivation. You should be teaching. Yeah, I would like to have more subscribers. I wouldn't mind making a few extra shekels here and there doing this, but I don't know if I care enough to not teach history. I want to teach history. I want to teach theology. I want to teach writing. I want to make my YouTube channels because I want to make them the way I want to make them. And I think in a lot of ways, my channel doesn't get noticed because I literally don't have enough people for them to even notice me. I'm an insignificant nothing. I mean, I would like to have more subscribers, but I like doing this. I enjoy doing this. I'm going to continue saying what I'm going to say. I'm going to continue teaching history the way history should be taught. I'm going to talk the way I'm going to talk. I'm going to sound what I'm going to sound. And I'm going to stand up what I believe in. YouTube does not care about any of those things. You have to figure out a way to get your point across. And yeah, it's going to be, sometimes it's just not going to be possible. And you're going to have to put on something that they're going to flag. And you're going to have to go through the whole appeal process and probably eventually win anyway. The problem is that we've made hate speech anything that I don't, or that other person doesn't agree with. That's not hate speech. That's a disagreement. That's a difference of opinion. I know what hate speech is when I hear it. And somebody disagreeing with me is not hate speech. If I advocated hate, one, I'd be ashamed of myself, and my mother would be ashamed of me. I make no bones about that I'm a Jew. I have no sympathy for Hamas, no sympathy for Hezbollah. I have no sympathy for terrorist organizations that are trying to kill me, and kill my fellow Jews. Sorry. I have no love for these people. Nobody should love a terrorist. I mean, the whole idea baffles me. I'm getting a little off topic. Because I watch a lot of the protests and, Free Palestine, which doesn't exist, by the way. people would actually study the history of the word, they would know why it doesn't really actually exist and never did. But that's a whole different video. Now that says it, my Jewish Christian faith tells me hate is wrong. As a Jew and as a Christian, hate is wrong. Period. Plain and simple. That's what the Bible teaches. That's what the New Testament teaches. Mostly. What the human heart is what the human heart is. If you're going to teach history, you have to teach the dark side of history. History is full of dark sides. Ugly, repulsive people who committed and put into motion horrific crimes against humanity. Like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Nazis, and the Armenian genocide, and Trail of Tears. I will add that. Because that was that. I don't get it. I don't know why people think Andrew Jackson was whatever he was. No, Andrew Jackson would be considered a racist. He would be considered a lot of things. But he had no love for the Cherokee, and a few other different tribes for that reason. I mean, history is full of people who just not very nice people. Not very nice at all. On both sides, every side. Every side has one. Very hanging in there. I mean, history is about dealing with facts. History is about dealing with the truth. History is about dealing with history is basically about dealing with what is human. Anyway, 22 minutes already. The sad reality is that history triggers people, particularly when they don't want to learn it. And history and theology and faith and politics and everything else, and what politics has basically politicized everything to the point where words don't mean anything anymore. They just don't. If you disagree with somebody and you're accused of hatred, it's like, no, I just don't agree with you. I'm still your friend. I can still like you as a person. No, you can't. Why not? Like, can't I still like you as a person just because I don't agree with you? See, that's what politics has done. Politics has taken the idea of hate and made it into anything that I don't like makes you hate me. No, that's silly. That is silly and dumb. Fall outside. I know I changed the countries right now. Fall, the leaves are changing. Weather's nice. I took the prism down so it's something stuck out. I'll put it back up. But anyway, hopefully I made this clear. Hopefully I made my point that I made it somewhat clear. I am a better writer than a talker, people. I've said this a bazillion times. Ask me to write something, I can read it. And it would sound a lot better to me just talking. I should do that. Well, excuse me. What is it with chocolate milk and what I drink? Anyway, behave yourselves, people, because you know I'm not going to. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Really need to figure out how to do this better. Anyway, thank you for watching. Later.